I was playing sheriff earlier on my game. I said it was something I always wanted to be was a sheriff. But
Swing on the beat.
I've always held much respect for our sheriff. Not only in the little TV, not the little TV, but those TV shows, those big TV shows, but also as actual sheriffs. And the one most famous sheriff's name that I can ever remember is Sheriff Mike Smith of Cape Coral, Florida. So that's him. So shout out to him. He had the most effect on my brain for a sheriff's name that I can remember. And Sheriff Grady, of course, the newer sheriff. Was his name Mike Smith? Well, I guess you could say more recently it was Sheriff Grady. But I remember in Lee County, there's a certain sheriff. I think his name was Mike Smith. He was fairly famous in the local area for being the sheriff. You have Sheriff Grady. He's the famous one now. I'd say he's earning that spot. I'd say as that nation. He's almost a federal agent now because he's became the Sheriff Grady character on a national or even an international scale. More of an international. He's like an international agent. Not only is he a small sheriff, like it's hard to explain. He can be a small town. They can be small town sheriffs. Some of them stay in their local sniffing distance or what have you, but Sheriff Grady is one of the ones that he's got the extended sniffers per se. He, what have you, just was one of those ones that it all starts with their local interviews, and some of them just become more famous than the others. So he's the top dog right now when it comes to the most famous sheriffs that you could think of right now in your mind. Of course, you could go do research and be like, "Oh, look at this sheriff from this or this sheriff from that." But right now, he's the top dog sheriff. Schroeder is the last judge I can remember, but there's lots of judges. There was a lot. It seems like there's a bunch of big dockets in the American court system that I just went through with a couple of the Rittenhouse, and then around there was another one right after that didn't go as well, like well for the defendant or whatever per se, if you want to say that. And there was a couple different ones that came up. Now it seemed to calm down or whatever with that. There were some real big ones I felt. Oh, it all started with I think one of the murders. There was a murder down in, believe it or not, Grady's territory and whatnot, and that's when I first seen him pop up. He did a great talk about, or he was trying to encourage people to find out what happened with these individuals that had gotten murdered in a truck, I believe it was, on a road, on a gravel road, someplace in his area or whatnot, in the areas that they are. I think that's the one I remember, and that was the one. And I've watched here or there. I like the one with the gold. He's got one where he's holding up people's gold and saying, "Look at what we got in one of our drug raids or bus. Lots of gold, a significant amount of gold." You think by the time you got that much gold, you might settle down. See, somebody like me would put that much gold, maybe. Well, I have it as a necklace, quite. Actually, the size of the one he had wasn't really my size. That one's actually a little bit too big. If you, mine wouldn't be all in that big chain necessarily. I would have put most of the gold in a safe or something and bullion or whatever for him, and then maybe have one of those nice Cubans. But that one was ridiculously big. The amount of, I don't know what the hell they're. It's like they're going bananas with the money. I don't even know how they get this much money. Like, look at this chain. over $4,000 where I live if it's solid gold. And then you got this gigantic gold pendant on it. $4,000 to me is a lot of money, especially just to have for a fashion accessory on your thing. And it's
You may think it's cool, but it'll end up with you arrested every time.